Good morning to everyone that's tuned in, and for those not tuned in, you will go and get your good morning somewhere else. It's always good times and great conversations when the ladies of Jasiri are seated at the table. We're having so much fun that I'm asking the producer to open the phone lines again today. So, Bookie, I know you can hear me. Please open up the phone lines and let's see who is going to be on the other end. But now that that's all taken care of, are you ready for today's show? Are we?
Yeah, we are. Let's kick things off with a tweet that caught my attention. Omotara Lawrence, I think. Omotara, long time I heard that name. Omotara Lawrence got me thinking with her tweets, asking people to share a story of how they discovered that their friend is not actually their friend. No, I have my own story, so you know how it is. But I'm eager to hear, what the ladies are going to bring to these particular ones. When did you find out that your friend is not your friend?
Not be me. I'm interested in the reactions.
Okay, let's go to reactions first. Catherine, you will share. No. So, asking the question, we hear from Rosie. When she told my man I'm cheating, even when I was not, just because she wanted to steal him, my gender,
Those things just boggle my mind. Anyway. So now that she told the guy.
Crypto Queen says, my so-called chief bridesmaid, someone I regard as a sister, loved her so much. It was a WhatsApp call. I used to know she was already in the UK. I just told her, congratulations, latest Londoner. Since then, I don't restrict her everywhere.
Well,
This one, he borrowed 50K from me and blocked me after. So I'm only worth 50K. Yeah. Let's see if we have one more. My so-called friend used my own money to transport me to the police station to lock me up for 6 hours. I'm still traumatized. Please, let's quickly go back to that UK one. It's a lot because it's happened to me and my husband recently, and you're thinking about, but we're talking about really good friends, and yet you leave. I don't find out you're in the UK until you're in the UK. Do you think I have bad spirits?
No.
What is it?
We believe what we believe.
A lot of people have had experience. I have a friend who he was supposed to go to the UK with his family. The mom went first. I think the dad and his siblings went. The visa was not a problem. But then he had told everybody, including us, so I don't know if he told everybody that he was traveling, and then for some reason his visa didn't go through. He had to stay here for like 2 more years. And he was even the major reason they were going because of his school. So the next time he tried, he didn't tell anybody. Including us. I just found out he was there, and I didn't take offense, to be honest, because I know that things happen. So I was like, I just jokingly asked, like, why didn't you tell us that? The last time he tried it, he doesn't know which of us that is.
No, but is that not what our parents used to say? If you're traveling, you don't tell people if you're about to get a promotion. I think that one, even me, I'm a bit superstitious on that one. But let's talk about this friendship thing.
I've grown up with that. Don't tell people
good plans until it happens.
Yeah, because I think you kind of grow up with it, and there's some myths or it just stays with you.
It's a superstition.
Yeah, it's a superstition, but a lot of us believe it. And most of the time, the things we believe actually work for you or work against you. That might not actually be what is happening, but because you attach some belief system to it, you're going to... Do you know how many of my friends have left for everywhere, Canada, UK, that I didn't even know until months after. And they just call and say, don't be angry.
Yeah, let's also ask ourselves the question, because this girl says she was a chief bridesmaid, you love her dearly. That's where this question comes in. Does your friend see you as a friend?
Or see you as the kind of friend that you'll think they are.
The one friendshiping more than the friendship.
She might be seeing her as the best friend.
How about the other one that called my boyfriend to say I'm cheating when she was
that one is, I don't even consider, so telling your boyfriend that, does that mean that the guy will now take her as girlfriend?
No, he might break up with her.
She ended up saying my gender. Do you know, probably because she didn't continue the story, it could have led anywhere.
But that shows that the guy has no integrity.
No,
somebody snitched on someone and you still went on to date.
It doesn't say that they broke up, and I'm very sure she found out because the guy told her. But let's go back. You people don't want to answer this question. Is your friend really your friend? Lolo.
You see, this friendship matter, I've just come to know that you are the one that knows how you feel about other people.
Yeah.
The only thing is that I've held on to my friendships that I've had longer time. There are some people that I consider my own. I know many people that think I'm their friend. Yeah. But I know that we're acquaintances.
You're not
and it's not far. No, it's not far to know. There are so many people I meet in recent times. We've just had conversation twice, and I'm hearing bestie. How?
Yeah.
How?
And it's
I've known you like more than 10 years. I've known you more than 10 years. Blessing. I just adopted.
So
even our adoption papers.
It's not complete.
I'm still processing it. So it's just like she going around, let's say, oh, it's just like me saying, oh gosh, I love Blessing so much. Have I been to her house? No. Do I meet her mother? No. Have I met the brother? No.
So yeah,
the only thing she has ever given me life, chin.
Oh God, see.
So how can we be friends or say we're close?
Well, I think I want to be honest, right? There are people who are very close friends that have not met each other as family and all that, but they're really close friends.
They know the family. They hear the stories. If you say, this is Tola, you'll know that that's my sister.
Exactly. Like
I had a friend that when I was in school, we were friends for like, I think 5 years throughout, the duration I stayed in school, and she never met any of it. But I always talked about the day she came for my sister's wedding. She was like, "Oh, this is Mola. This is." I'm like, "How do you know that?"
No, but uni is different. Uni, we lived in a community.
Yeah.
Many of us, when we go home for holidays, most of us are detached. I can't even remember in university if I really visited any of my friends personally because that was how our own time was. Unlike our own children's time, that my children would give me list for midterm break. I had to visit this person. We're going out for this thing.
No, I got phone number. This is Ara's friends. This is Ara's mom. Please call her when we go on vacation. But coming back, I agree with Lolo because I just realized a long time ago you have to put people in categories, even for your own mental health and boundaries. So I have people who are general acquaintances. After you leave acquaintance, you go to associates. No, you go to associates. So if I see you on the streets, I won't pretend like acquaintances. I can look at you and be like, I don't know you. Associates, at least I remember your name. I have an idea where you work. We've had 1 or 2 conversations. From associates, then we now move to acquaintances. I can say I'm very much acquainted with this person. I'm able to, hold it down. Then you're a friend. A lot of people will stay at that friend level. Nothing against you. I'll know some about your family history, some relationship, but you will never know me total. But then there are people I count as family.
Family.
You moved as a friend. I am invested in your life. I'm invested in your progress. I'm invested in your success.
in Kathy's life. I buy her peanuts.
They will not buy your spices.
By force. Don't
you want me to prosper in life?
No, but I do agree. And I think for me, to answer the question, I've never really had friends, to be honest. And
you look like that.
Yeah, it has never been
She's a meanie. She doesn't give everybody
Sometimes I bottle up things, I'm busy all day, and then I get home, I'm like, Victor, do you know, it's like, get a friend, blessings, and leave me alone. Why don't think anybody like, I literally follow him about like a dog, and he just slams the door in my face. Go and get a friend. Like, I don't have friends.
But did I not tell you?
Yeah. So I know some of Tolu's burn stories. I saw the hashes.
Because let me tell you, I personally think that relationship heartbreak is bad.
Hurts.
But friendship heartbreak, I think it hurts in a way that is deeper than love hardship.
We need to we have to have a day where we share the most heartbreaking. I have a friendship story that till today, I lost a friend because I was kind to another friend.
Yeah, they wanted you to choose.
No, it's a friendship that, if you see this, my friend now, she's the director of an insurance company. And I know that my life would have been more enriched with her being in my circle over the years. But I lost her because I wanted to bless another friend. Wow. I think these are the things that actually gave me caution over the years that, see, just like Blessing said, you might be friends with someone, but the pedestal to which they put you is not the same. Yeah. There are some friends I'm not afraid to be vulnerable with. Even if you abuse me, I'll take it. You shout, I'll take it. If you caution me, I'll take it. But some, you can't speak over me. Yeah. So, but these days, I find that loyalty is even something that is like an old concept.
I cry. I call my husband. I said, "What is it?" I call my sister in the US. My sister, I could not understand.
Yeah.
I think when it comes to friendship, I'm literally dead to friendships. And there was one that happened to me, I think 2 years ago. I think the reason it was easy for me to absorb it was because that concept of friendship has been long gone, so I don't expect anything from someone. So this person works with a company, a very big company, right? And this company was looking for micro-influencers. So they saw my page and they reached out to him because they saw that he had posted me once or twice. So they're like, "Oh, are you cool with this girl?" She's like, "Yeah, she's my friend." And they told him that they wanted to work with me, but they don't know what my rates will be. That's why they're looking for a micro-influencer, not like the major one. And this guy tells them, "Don't worry, even if I tell her to do it free, she'll do it for free."
Wow.
And then he told them to come meet me and to just tell me that they will pay so and so amount. And when I agree, he's going to talk me out of it.
Wow. How did you later find out?
So the
the company people.
Yeah, so the guy that was managing the brand, like I got wrapped. It was a whole deal for a year. It was supposed to be for a year. So I got wrapped in it. I had to do it for a year because I had signed.
Because you signed.
And then the guy was like, well, what actually happened was your friend
told
us to tell us this, and he showed me the chat. I'm like, what?
Man. But this point that Lolo makes is very true about loyalty. You find,
and I think it's an old concept
now. Talked about it in relationships where people are creating this checklist for you to meet in a relationship. Yeah. But we also find it with friendships. Are you aesthetically pleasing? Yeah. Can you get them into a different kind of socioeconomic? Yeah. Are you able to introduce them to business contacts? Yeah. It feels like the essence of what friendship is supposed to be has been lost. And people are looking for you to check off something and make your life better.
The innocence of friendship, of meeting people and connecting. Just because there's nothing else that's attached.
I think it's social media.
I think now we have become more competitive. And social media has drawn a lot of people apart. Yeah. You know, now, if you notice now, because social media is such a big influence on all of us, even sometimes your friends intimidate you.
Yeah.
I have a friend, I roll in entertainment circles, she rolls in corporate circles. Do you know I envy her corporate circles? She envies my entertainment circles. And we're friends. We like each other. But social media is giving each of us different ideas about who we are. It's only when we meet, really, that we reconnect every time that, no, I don't want to lose you because see why I wasn't reaching out. I felt that your circle were bigger than me. And you might not want me in there. And she's like, oh, I feel
I had a friend who traded me in for another circle, and I was just there in real time watching. And then I had another friend come and tell me the gist around. I was like, wow.
Honestly. And this thing about aesthetically pleasing, I won't even like there's a lady that I don't even like visiting people, right? But she gave birth some time ago, and I noticed that she didn't like me coming to her. In fact, when she had the second child, she didn't tell me. She didn't, and I always go there. I go there with gifts, go there, see the child.
But did you go there with this kind of dress?
No, I always look good. I always look good because I'm always coming from the office. So every time she sees me, the thing is, every time she sees me, she wants to bring up a camera, and I'm like, no, please don't do that. I like my private, life private. I only put up things that are related with work. I don't like people knowing my friends, my family, my relations. I'm very protective of that. So every time she brings up her phone, maybe I'm carrying the child, I'm like, please don't do that. So because of that, she doesn't, especially when other social media friends are around, she doesn't like telling me, she doesn't like me around.
Because you don't like her ghosting you. You don't want her baby to get clouds from you. Wicked.
That's the social media part of this thing. These friendships, and it's true, you'll see people, bestie me.
But I've seen that.
If you now see the chats where they're talking about those saying bestie me to other people,
you nearly die.
Your heart will be, I think we need to bring this back on Friday.
No, we need to
as part
be
of
fun.
Hot Topics. And whoever our special guest is for Hot Topics is going to have to share. Lolo, you'll share.
Really
yes, I will share.
It is.
Don't do me, go.
I cried. It's well.
Anyways, I still cry.
With that, we now have a heart of stone. I think we're going to take it up from here. With that, we'll take a short break, but don't go anywhere because when we come back, we'll be looking at Lagos housing challenges. And let me ask you, are you friends with your friends? Are they your friends? Anyway, stay tuned. Jasiri will be back.
Welcome back. We are streaming live on our social media platforms. We're at News Central TV. Also use the hashtag Jasiri to be part of the conversations. Now today, we're diving deep into the heart of Lagos State housing, exploring the contentious issues of demolitions, rent policies, and the challenges faced by renters. Joining us in this crucial conversation is the CEO of Rent Small Small, Tunde Balogun. Tunde, welcome to Jasiri.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I hope you're not intimidated with all these women.
I think he's used to it.
We're supposed to have like confetti or something. So when
All right, this particular conversation that we're going to be talking about is very, very crucial. There is nobody living in Lagos that is not seeing what is happening in recent times. We're looking at the trend of demolitions in Lagos State. And everywhere that you turn, you are seeing houses coming down. And, this is bringing a lot of confusions and concerns around demolitions. Can you talk to us a little about it? Because there are so many conflicting things you hear about these demolitions when it happens. We actually saw a video of people living in there and these bulldozers are there. So can you talk to us a little about this general thing?
Yeah, thank you for having me. I mean, we all know that housing is a basic human need. Of the plenty basic human needs, the 4 critical ones are food, shelter, air, and then water, right? Those are the 4. So what that tells you is that however we want to look at housing, the cost of land, there must still be the social angle of housing, right? So when you look at demolition and all those things, I mean, the government side, they will give you 1 million reasons. They will tell you 1 million reasons why those demolition needs to happen. And then on the owner side or the occupier's side, they will also tell you, we've occupied this space for this long, 30, 40 years. A recent one that is happening at Jakonde right now, the government plan is to, create a coastal road. Along that road, right? And it's a long stretch road, and there's been conversation about that road for many years now, right? But the people that are occupying that those areas or that particular side of Lekki stretch, they were the people that moved from Morocco in the 1990, right? And they claim that it's the government that settled them there, right? Therefore, there shouldn't be any reason why they need to leave that place again, right? But for me, it's to find a balance, right? To find the balance. I think I was in a meeting on Sunday where a church, one of the biggest churches around there, actually is looking to help these people settle. Because a lot of them have been displaced already, right? And the role we are supposed to play is some of our available accommodation to help these people move in. So at least let them first of all have a roof over their head. That is a church playing a social intervention role, which is housing is a basic human need. I think the government also needs to look at it from that place. That someone who is homeless is the person can do and undo. When you have a roof over your head, you can cover your shame. There are so many things you can cover. You might not even have food, but the fact that you have somewhere to keep your head, you can. In fact, when you look at the 4 basic human needs, even clothing is not mentioned. Because a naked person can eat himself or hide himself, whichever on. So it just tells you. But again, for me, it's all about balance, because I believe that Lagos is a big city, one of the biggest in Africa, and more people are trooping into Lagos on a daily basis. So there needs to be a balance. There needs to be a relocation plan from the government when they are taking this action. I know they pre-inform these people ahead and all of that, but I don't think it's enough.
So, when you talk about this, I've seen some of the videos that the Commissioner, Tokunbo Wahab, has shared, and when you see the aerial drone shots, and you see clearly that houses have been built on drainages and canals, you also I always come back to town planning. These people, some of them will show you some documentation, whether it's real or fake, and you're thinking, even if the documentation is fake, town planning doesn't monitor. Before they finished the construction, before this estate was finished, was there nobody involved? So there's a point to it where we also need to look at government for allowing this indiscriminate building that, quote unquote, flouts Lagos State master plan. What do you say about that?
So definitely there needs to be clean up within the government around how we do housing in big cities like even Lagos. And Lagos being a model city to other states in Nigeria, I think the onus is on them to really set the pace. Some of the ways I believe this can be done is using technology. I mean, we're a technology company, right? And I mean, when you think of what we do, even in the rental space, we are in the rental space and this ownership space. And what we did in the rental space was introduce technology to be able to make renting homes in Lagos or in Nigeria more affordable. It's only on our platform right now that you won't have to pay agency on legal fee at all. And then you also can pay monthly. In fact, we are set up for monthly payment of rent, which brings about that affordability, right? But technology allowed this seamlessness, and allows us to remove all the hurdles and cost barrier that typical, the traditional agent will want to do. When you bring it to government, I think the process of land allocation, the process of land purchase, the process of titling, all of that can be digitized in a way that even before you buy a land, you can go search. You don't need to pay anybody. You don't need to go to Alausa. You don't need to go anywhere. You can just go online and search and see the mapping, the layout of the land, and be able to say, oh, is this land Is it allocated to something else? Is it supposed to be a canal? Because there are development plans that we've not implemented today, but are set for the future. And a lot of people don't know. And you're in a city where everybody wants to make money. Everybody wants to get rich quick, right? So you have people that are even conniving and planning with people in the government to allocate and sell this land and give fake approvals and all of that. Even when they are giving these approvals, they are not fake in a way, because they are coming from the right places, right? It's just that by the time government sets in and they need this land for the right use, then they just come in and want to take over the place. They don't care what you've built on it. You might have built a 1 billion. They don't really care. When they need the space, they need the space, right? So I think government, there needs to be a cleanup that needs to happen. Before then, I'm not sure what people can do really to avoid these things, I think, because there's just so much that is in the dark that you really don't know. But if you really want to do your due diligence, you can still go all the way and go to Alausa, go to, you know, town planning office and check all of this.
Do you think that people didn't do that before?
I think a lot of people also don't do it because of desperation. Land is expensive in Lagos. Costs, there are cost implications. There is opportunity factor that, this land that could be worth, let's say, 100 million. Somebody is telling you to pay 50 million for it or 40 million for it. But like, you want to jump at it quickly and you don't really see the hidden side of it, which is, or maybe the government is going to come in tomorrow, or there could be a need for canal to be built there. You just want to take advantage of it quickly. So there's that desperation from people as well.
But as hard as it may sound, isn't there an alternative to demolition? Does it always have to be?
Before you answer, in addition to what Blessing said, it's been something that's been mulling from the moment you started talking. I'm thinking, do you think the government gives the residents enough notice to move out? Because the first thing when you hear that structures are being demolished, that why are structures being demolished with human beings living in the houses while they are demolished?
It's painful.
That is dangerous. I hear the Jakonde demolitions of the properties in Jakonde. Some people have lost their life in the process. So all that, who is accountable for that? Who's responsible for that? So I don't want to believe that the government is working just in the dark, but do you think, in your opinion, do you think more notice should have been given to the residents, or there would have been, like, let's say, a tidier way of handling things?
So when we say more notice or time, I mean, that's relative in a way, because you really don't know how far or when the notices were given. You know, nobody really truly comes out. Or maybe there could be a better process to things, right? For me, the way I look at it is just timing, right? When you look at Nigeria today, we are going through high inflation. We're going through currency devaluation. When you have those two things working together in a country, one of the sectors that gets impacted the most is housing, right? Where people need to pay rent, where cost of living has gone up. And then you now add on top of that demolition, whereby you get people, you know, you make them redundant, like homeless, you know. So that makes it even harder, right? And there are so many other things that will now come on top of that. Crime rates can increase as a result of that, you know, desperation and all of that. So what I believe is there needs to be a balance in terms of whether there's adequate timing given to these people. Honestly, I'm not sure.
But you know, on this timing, I beg to differ, because
government will tell you.
I am a lawyer. I'll never forget when they wanted to take over Oshodi, that middle, when they were going to renovate and everything. I heard they've been giving them notices for more than 4 or 5 years. But the people there just assumed that because we're here, the government is not going to do anything. Yeah. So sometimes, even though I'm not on the government side, because I know that there is so much, just like you said, I would rather that before you demolish, at least let's have a relocation plan.
Yeah,
Look at every day that I pass now, because now when I'm going home, I like to pass Landmark, you know, the Water Corporation Road. Do you know how afraid I've become? Because all the malams, all those shanties that those Hausa men used to be, Kathim, all of you, they are always outside now. You will see people just loitering. And if you're driving a very nice car, it's something that would bring fear.
You don't want to pass there at night.
You don't want to pass there at night. There's no light.
There's no light.
And now, just as you said, when they just cast them out, and it increases the rate of insecurity. So sometimes I'm looking at, where do we actually find this balance? Because if governments are giving adequate notice and people are just bullheaded and say no because we're here, is it that they will still not carry on the construction? Because I really do not know.
But we also need to put into consideration, I mean, in contrast to what she just said, there are also, like Tolu said, the government sometimes say that they give notices, but we don't see any documentation to that effect. So people will say that they were not told, there were not, enough notices, and the government still insists that we did tell you, but there's no, like, show us the evidence that you maybe sent a letter or something, but there's nothing. So who do we believe? If they gave the notice or if they didn't?
It almost kind of take you to, back in the days where anything needs to happen, you have these people on town crier. Who go around and start.
Now these days,
So I honestly, I think, yes, there needs to be more publicity around how this information are passed around, how governments go about it. The truth is that the cost of relocation is also high. So I guess on the government side, they're asking them, so how many people can we relocate, right? But then it raises question around the safety of the state.
Yeah.
The safety of the state. If you want the state to continue to be a safe haven for people, then there are things that you cannot do that will jeopardize all the other efforts that you've put in over all these years, right?
So, on that relocation thing, I think the state will also tell you that if you are already in an illegal structure, the state does not owe you the benefits of relocation.
Yeah.
If you are illegally occupying land that was not allocated for housing or whatever, it's not the state that's going to pay for
but
relocation.
let's think of it also from a social housing
impact.
But today if we're talking about that social place too, the place that Lola was talking about now, I've passed that place when the shanties were there. And no light. I've always feared
I'm not advocating
that. No, I'm not advocating. I'm not advocating for that. We'll come back. We'll go to a break. But let's also think about it. We can't continue to allow those shanties to exist the way they do. So Lagos finds itself in a very precarious situation.
Yes.
But that situation is not maybe as precarious as we think, because the state is also trying to be forward-thinking when it comes to rental policies. We're going to go for a quick timeout now. We continue this conversation as we look at Lagos State saying it is going to now enforce monthly rent. Let's get into that with Tunde Balogun after this. The CEO of Rent Small Small, Tunde Balogun, is with us as we look at housing challenges in Lagos. Now, Tunde, let's move on to this announcement of this rental policy that Lagos State says they want to enforce. They're not just saying implement, enforce. You know the terminology, choice of but Lagos State has announced plans to implement monthly rental payments. So how do you see this initiative impacting landlords and tenants? What are the challenges you think we might see in the implementation? And overall, can it work?
I was waiting for that. Can it work?
So it's actually, our company is Small Small, so I'm CEO of Small Small. So Rent Small Small is a product of Small Small.
Okay, Small Small.
Yeah, even though we started as Rent Small Small before we rebranded, as we expanded, right? We've been in the monthly space for 6 years, going to 7 years. We are one of the pioneers in that space, and it's in the bid to really just make access available, give people access. Because people earn monthly, whether we like it or not. Even in other climes, people earn weekly, and they pay their rent weekly. When I was living in UK, I was paying my rent weekly because some of my So the yearly system, it has
not just
actually
yearly, multi-yearly.
Yeah, multi-yearly or
2 years.
yearly. However we want to look at it, it has actually created a dent in our housing process. And the dent I see is that it creates financial instability where you cannot make adequate plan based on your earning. So people live beyond their means. That's one of the things it has promoted. Because you look at it, I'm earning, I want a house. For example, I need a 2-bedroom. You go around, check for different location, 2-bedroom and all of that, right? And by the time they tell you what the cost of a 2-bedroom, you don't really sit down to say, how much does that come to monthly?
Monthly out of what I'm making.
Yeah, how much out of what I'm earning? You only just make that decision based on, okay, I have 2-point-something million somewhere, I have 1 million somewhere, this is going to come from somewhere, so I should be able to afford it. So it becomes should be more like
lifestyle inflation.
Yes, exactly. But with the monthly system, you can immediately, If somebody tells you a property is 500K monthly, you don't need to carry calculator. You know you're earning 200,000 monthly. So immediately you will tell yourself that I can't afford this. So the yearly system put people in isolation in the dark around what they can afford, right? And on the landlord side, it also fuels greed.
Yeah.
It fuels greed because when you look at what housing is supposed to be, right? It's supposed to be a channel to earn passive income in other parts of the world. Passive income, not primary income. Even big companies that have huge real estate portfolio is still passive income to their investors, to their shareholders, not their main income, right? But here we've turned it into primary income.
Please, before Chidebalogu goes, remind me of the landlord story we took some weeks ago. Let's not forget it.
I think it's really all about balance, whereby on landlord side, we're saying what is sustainable, what works. And the funny bit is that landlord can even earn more when they are doing monthly. They can earn more when they are doing monthly. Well, the interesting bit is that in the 6 years that we've been in business, in the monthly space, I've had landlord come to me and say, Tunde, I never thought I would enjoy collecting my rent monthly. I thought that yearly is because some of them collect this money up front and before you know it, it's gone.
Let's not even go there.
Yeah, but now they have something to look forward to every month, right? And on tenant side, I think of, I don't want the pressure of monthly and all of that. I think the pressure of yearly is more because what happened is that because you've paid it 1 year upfront or 2 years upfront, you feel like, I'm at ease. But it's deferred or delayed pressure or whatever, because the kind of pressure you're going to feel at the 9th or 10th or 11th month when the next 1 year rent is due. That is when you know that water pass Gary or Gary pass water.
Today I was going to ask that. How would this government, it's nice when we make policies. The enforceability of these policies is on another level. Landlords will tell you that I'm the one that built my house.
Yes.
I'm the one that did this. I'm the one that did that. And government is trying to put these monthly rental policies in place to prevent maybe things like exploitations of tenants by landlords or landlords by tenants, whatever rocks your boat. But now would they have this argument that you're not the one that built my house? It's just like this subsidy they've removed. Now marketers are saying, I might be bringing my own fuel from here, so that means it might be more costly than those bringing from here. So I have every right to fix
my price.
So how do we want to find a balance in that? Because in the housing enforcement.
It's possible.
But please don't forget that Lagos State was trying to enforce yearly rent versus 2 years. Till now, there are still people grabbing 2 years.
And now you're moving to monthly.
So I think, again, two sides to this, right? We've moved from 2 years, 3 years, 2 years to 1 year, right? I think the consumer or the tenants they have a role to play. It's a demand market.
Yes.
Demand is more than supply. And any market where demand is higher than supply, then the supplier, they can play any game. That's the reality. But that is where policy and enforcement and government really taking their stand that we are truly government. That is where they're supposed to be focusing their energy, really implementing policies and all of that. But they get distracted with other things as well, as we know, right? So on one side, when you are trying to rent a place and somebody is telling you to pay 2 years when you know that the policy is 1 year, right? I think the government can create almost like a whistleblower kind of structure whereby we make it easy for those things to be reported, right? And actions are taken on when they are reported, right? There are consequences, right? Because I've met landlords, even in this process of doing rent small and buy small, which are our two products, that we want to onboard, and they will tell us that, it's 3 years rent they want. And I'll be like,
then why are you coming to me?
Yeah, I know. So on the second side of the monthly system, I think the way it's going to work is for the government to incentivize the landlord, whereby any landlord that is accepting monthly rent, right? This is what we have in place for you. One, it could be tax.
Yes.
Two, it could be the homes that are available under the Lagos State homes, which is under the Lagos Mortgage Board, right? So Lagos State, so that could be another incentive that if you are collecting monthly rent, It means that we'll prioritize you if you want to buy your second property or third property under Lagos Homes, and we will not even only prioritize you, we'll give you more than the 10 years plan we usually give, or reduce the interest for you. It's possible. Or Lagos have lands everywhere. They could incentivize landlords with lands by saying that because you are collecting monthly rent and you've shown the track record for the last 5 years that you've
consistently done
for
that.
the lands that are available, we'll prioritize. There's just so many ways government can be innovative. I mean, when you think of what we do at small, everything we've achieved today is because of how innovative. When we have buy small now that allow people to own homes, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years payment plan, interest free. And it's because of innovation that we've put in place. And we started
if you put this innovation in government, if they cannot earn, if they cannot, everything is corruption. Because this thing they are saying without interest, who would that interest? Because if you want it to come into government, anything free doesn't seem to appeal to this government. Because I think that it's not about the people. It's also about their coffers and what they can get. Because if you're asking them to do plans, I know this Lagos State housing plans. Yes, I know these Lagos State housing plans that they've put. Trust me, I've only met very few people that say that they won the ballot.
Oh no, I have a family member who won. But Tunde, very quick question, because you talked about your time in the UK paying weekly, and monthly you get 5 in the abroad. You get 5 days grace period. Next thing you know, your belongings are outside. I hope Lagos State is thinking about all the implementation of that. What happens when people do not pay monthly, do not pay on time? What happens when the grace period is flouted? Are landlords going to be empowered to evict? Very quickly, 30 seconds.
So that's why we believe that Lagos State should not implement this or carry this out by themselves.
Okay.
They should leverage company like ours that has been in the space for 6 years, and we've done it successfully well because we've identified all the loopholes, and we've created solutions to cover those loopholes, right? So it's very possible. If it's not possible, we won't be in business for 6 years, right? We had thousands of tenants that have gone through rent small and are still tenants, and we have properties all across Lagos.
Yeah, but how do we do that? I hear you.
There's no time.
Sorry, I hear him.
No, and I wanted to
we are badly behaved. We really are badly behaved. Sometimes you rent a house to people that you ask, Jesus, are you from Mars or Jupiter?
So the monthly policy actually allows easy eviction than yearly.
That's what people want to hear. All right, so there is that we're going to have to continue this because we need to see the full policy from Lagos State and then be able to break it down, how it protects landlords and how it also protects tenants. So we're definitely going to have Tunde Balogun back. He's the CEO of Small. We know him. We'll have him back to continue this conversation. Thank you so much, Tunde, for joining us. All right, Jasiri will continue in just a moment. We're going for a quick break, and it's definitely about to get hotter in the studio because it's all about hot topics. Stay with us.
Welcome back to Jasiri. We're looking forward to hearing from you in the comments across all our social media channels at News Central TV. And please make sure you use the hashtag Jasiri. Now, if you are on the Nigerian social media, you could have missed the wedding of the weekend as the former BBN alum queen, Mercy Atang, on February 29th, 2024. Queen announced her engagement to her now husband, David. It was the same day that the father of her daughter, Lord Lambert, finally confirmed that he was the father of their daughter. Would you say this is coincidence or calculated timing? We'll take our stinger, our hot topic stuff before we delve into this seriously. Knife it. Oh my God, we needed to play that montage.
As the way of landing with I knew she was getting there. Like, we just want to let you know what's on the ground. Before we formally introduce
I'm the calmest in this conversation, just waiting for the conversation to start.
Let me give you more detail, my people. Now, there's been a lot of supposed leaks of conversations between Queen and Lamba, but one thing that has been bothering me in this reaction, in all the conversations, is the reactions that many Nigerians have to her getting married as a baby mama. Ladies, I've been seeing the social media feedback reaction. I was like, what's going on?
No, Tolu has actually had like an angst, like what's wrong with her?
I've had an angst.
Is it that? But you know that this is very uncommon. You know, in abroad, I've even met someone that actually met a lady who was pregnant. He fell in love with her when she was about 3 months pregnant and stayed with her throughout the pregnancy, got married to her after they had the baby, like 6 months after. It wasn't the owner of the pregnancy,
as we like to say.
But you know, in Nigeria, we are the ones that say, oh, we demonize baby mamas for being baby mamas. When people choose them, we still say, why are you choosing a used cargo?
Baby mama, where they
and what makes you even think because someone has a baby, does that make you like a commodity that has devalued?
Lolo, I want us to get to the reactions so that people will understand.
So people will
the
understand,
reactions and how people have been talking about Queen. Somebody said Lamba thought Queen wasn't worthy of love, and so he treated her like trash. Queen, on the other hand, endured all for love until a good man showed her how worthy she was to be loved. Lamba, go and rest.
It's a mathematical equation.
Truth is, some of you so-called fathers are no different from a sperm donor.
Totally.
All right, you wanted to use the child as an avenue to manipulate her into continually sleeping with her, but it didn't work. Yes, they live in Lagos Island, so 150K is nothing over there. And by the way, if Lamba had money to travel around the world with different girls, giving his child's mother 500K monthly for baby food, diapers, and hospital visits will not kill him. Since he hardly replies to messages when Queen writes him, like I said earlier, may the little girl not meet a man like her father in future. Who wants a woman to get a woman pregnant and shy away from his responsibilities? I'm sure he won't want his daughter to meet a man like him.
Sound on. So this is in reference to the quote-unquote leaked chats that came, and that Queen, wow, she was not holding back. But what I've seen is there are a lot of people, and I won't say
she
it's
lists
just
the points like our national budget.
This is her and her husband on their engagement day. So a lot of people, and it's not just men, but it was primarily a lot of men, were actually even going in on David for his choice in being a stepfather to this child, very beautiful child. So David had talked about during their wedding, of course, that in fact she's now even calling him daddy. She was there when they were cutting the wedding cake, but this thing is choking some people. And the question really, as Lolo said, is why is it a problem?
Why?
You demonize somebody. She was not the only one in the relationship. Yes. Have we fully demonized the man for apparently not being a present father? Because it's very obvious in their comments.
Security to the birthday.
And then acting like a guest.
I think, you see, that silent agreement or silent coming to conclusion that this person will not find a better person than you. And so for your mind...
That's Lamba. That's a big Lamba.
Yeah, that's a Lamba right there.
You started.
So for your mind, you sit down there, if you say, okay, don't be, nobody will pass you, my brother.
Yeah, but...
Don't be so nice.
I agree with Catherine, but do you know that a lot of people actually think because we're single mothers, if someone chooses you, you might not even get chosen. And that is so untrue. I've met someone, in fact, one of my sons, a mom, their stepfather, he's the one that trained them all. And she had 4 children before she even met the man and had 1 more child for him. And I cannot lie, he's the most wonderful present stepfather I have ever met. So some people just have this idea in their head that once you're a baby mama, but I tell you that, no, this is contradictory as far as I'm concerned, and the society is hypocritical. You are the ones that demonize baby mamas. And when someone chooses them, you still don't want them to be chosen. Is it that we just revile or we love it?
No, we just feel
giving them that title of baby mama and
it's
them
a street sense. It's a street understanding. It's simple mathematics.
Remember when
that they
Pastor
say,
Adeoye told us
she's not born, she's not doing anything. Why wouldn't you follow a blessings? Why would you follow a Lolo who has had
choice?
3 kids?
I think that single mothers should jump on that of course challenge. I'm a single mother. Of course I'll find love and it will shock you.
Do you remember when Pastor Adeoye told us
he lost church members?
That they lost church members because he chose to marry someone he loves and believes that God has chosen for him because they have other children. Have you not seen the way Two Faces children have thrived under Pastor Adeoye's leadership? So what is it? I keep asking people, what do you really want?
No, do you know this? And this thing is also not just a Nigerian thing. I'll bring in Sierra. I'm a huge fan. And when she had a baby for Future, she's not only just a baby mama, you're now a baby mama to a rapper who had previous baby mamas and had baby mamas after you.
Yeah.
You now went and jammed someone like a Russell Wilson. Now they have 3 kids. Have you seen the latest baby? And they look happy. I don't stand celebrity relationships. I really don't give two. But those two, I constantly pray for them so that their love can continue to
shock them and choke them.
And I also feel like sometimes even these baby mamas themselves, right? They're very scared about finding love because if you look at the unfolding story, right? It was several months ago when Queen's pregnancy announcement came in, and she initially did not reveal who the father was. And sometimes it makes me wonder, was she scared? Was she skeptical? Is he going to change his mind? Is something going to happen that will make him not want to? And Lamba deciding to drop his own Lamba on that day, posting the picture of he and his daughter unprovoked.
It feels like he really felt like he would continue to have access to her. If he does, it is a frustrating place to be when you look at the situation. And single mothers don't create themselves. They don't create themselves.
They're created by men. Men did the lamb buying, and when the product of the lamb buying comes out, but that's why I keep telling women that the onus is on us most of the time. And that is why women should take more caution to their lives. That's why we talked about family planning one time, and a lot of people would demonize what we said, that we're not propagating the purity, the purity.
We're being real.
We're just being real. A lot of people are sexually active on the streets of life. But if for women, you need to protect yourself so that you are not finding yourself in uncomfortable situations
and
putting babies in it.
Yeah, but if you want babies in it, you must get ready to dance the dance.
Exactly.
Not everybody can dance the dance. If you feel that your grace covers dancing that dance, all good and well. But my problem is that women don't get emotionally involved in this, in the whole dance and song with their baby's father or the baby's mama. If you guys have a child together, you should be mature enough to rise above the bile, rise above the sentiments, rise above everything, and just keep it clinical.
Yeah.
If you cannot do that, then you have no business doing that dance.
Wow, was that what that English was for? Well articulated.
But you know, additionally, some of the comments, it's just fortunate. It's not fortunate. It's a blessing for her. She's able to marry. She married what seems to be a good man who's ready and able to step in and to be a father. There are men who are saying that because he's the father of her first child, he will always be able to debate. I can't translate it.
Oh my God. Okoro law. They call it Okafor's law. Once they bear, always they bear. What makes you think so? Men have such audacity.
I'm just here thinking, how is Okafor speaking Yoruba?
Honestly, it's audacity to think that.
Thank you for translating.
What does that mean? Because we've had some kind of relations. You think you can continually have it?
Yeah. So this one.
So are you continually having relations with your baby daddy?
I don't understand how.
How? Debo and I, we just see each other. We are brothers and sisters in the Lord.
That's not as close.
I don't even think so. Things cross our
that's
minds.
the mindset that is empowering these men. Right?
Yeah.
They still can't come to the realization that
You moved on.
Tough, like NEPA wire. You gotta accept it.
I don't understand. Honestly, but the land has become fallow. Grass is growing. We have animals and bush animals inside there. What are you explaining?
We've reached out to Queen, and I really hope that she will answer us and come and share her story. It doesn't always end like this for many single mothers, and there's a lot of pressure on them from society.
We're so happy for you.
We are very happy for her, and we think people should. I also hope you're not doing it for the gram as well.
Yes.
Protect this relationship. I'm not the one. You can do everything you want to do, but I would think, especially with the eyes of Nigerians, all those eyes on you are not kind. So I think protect it, and I really, really hope the best for them.
Honestly,
so
whoever Tolu speaks about like this,
answer our DM, Queen. Thank you.
If Tolu speaks about you in such positive light, these are prophets in the house. She knows her onions. It's only that. Reverend Dr. Neil.
Anyways, ladies, it's time to continue the conversation offline because we never stop. To be honest,
Let's say you're lost. Don't worry.
I hope the internet allows lots of messages or calls to go through. Regardless, let's keep spreading love and showing gratitude. Sadly, our time is up. We have to go. Massive thank you. Thank you so much, Tunde Balogun, and thank you everyone for watching. See you again tomorrow. Mwah, mwah. So long.